Well, good morning, everyone, team. Welcome to the session. So, first of all, a warm welcome to Triotech Software Trainings. So, today we are here to have a demo on Oracle Recruiting Cloud. So, myself is Kumar, and I am the director for Triotech Software Trainings team. So, some of you might aware of me, like I am also a Oracle Fusion HCM trainer in Triotech. And today, with this particular course, we are going to give you overview about the Oracle Recruiting Cloud Applications team. So along with me, I have ORC trainer Mr. Rajesh in the call. So he will be the trainer for this program on Oracle Recruiting Cloud. So some of the participants who joined the session today already having the experience on Oracle Fusion HCM cloud applications. You might be working in some existing modules of Oracle HCM, like you might be working in core HR, absence, payroll, talent. Now you want to get yourself advanced and you want to learn this most happening module in the market, that is ORC, right? And we also have directly freshers who joined the call today, and also some people from non-IT background who want to start their career into IT and looking for a good application, that too, which is completely coding free application team. And we have some people who having prior ERP knowledges, might be working in PeopleSoft, might be working in e-business suite, or might be working in SAP. Now planning to switch their career into this Oracle Fusion Cloud Applications team. So by keeping everyone in mind, we prepared today's demo in such a way that we will be navigating from very basic stream, like starting with ERP, what is ERP, and what are these fusion applications means, for what purpose we have these fusion applications in the market, and in that what is Oracle Fusion HCM cloud applications, and then within that also, what is this Oracle Recruiting Cloud? For what purpose this ORC module or the application that companies using in the market? And once you learn this technology, what sort of career opportunities that you will be having? So the next 1 hour demo that we planned out on all these aspects, team. So I request everyone to please be on the mute. Any questions you have in this due course of time in the next 1 hour, I request everyone to please park your questions, team. At the end of the session, me and Rajesh will be available to address all your queries. It might be subject related, or it might be career opportunities point of view, or any sort of doubts or anything that you have with the program. We will discuss at the end of the session, team. So we are muting everyone to continue the demo for the next 1.5 or 1 hour, team. So before getting into today's demo agenda, let me introduce to you your trainer, Mr. Rajesh. So let me go to the introduction about himself, team. So Mr. Rajesh is my colleague who is working along with me in couple of projects since a while, and he's Oracle certified implementation specialist with overall 13 plus years of experience, team. So equally, whatever the experience that I am having in this domain, even Rajesh also having a similar experience in this Oracle HCM cloud applications team. And he's a certified implementation specialist, particularly in this Oracle Recruiting Cloud module. He worked on close to 10 plus end-to-end ORC implementation and support projects, team. So since last 8 years, extensively, he involved with many global implementations with respective to this Oracle Recruiting Cloud. And he is also a corporate trainer where he conducted several trainings on behalf of Triotech for several companies team. Few of them like in American Express, in Tech Mahindra, in Apps Associate, in Global Acquisition, we have a company by name, and we have Betrayans. In all these companies, we've been conducting corporate trainings on HCM, and Mr. Rajesh was the trainer for this particular applications team. And he's an ex-Wipro and a Cognizant employee. Currently also, he is working for an MNC where he is working for one of the global implementation with respective to Oracle Recruiting Cloud. They are moving from Taleo to ORC, and he's one of the key solution architect in that particular project team. So this is about brief intro about the trainer, Mr. Rajesh team. Now let's move on to today's demo agenda. So I want to hand over from now to Mr. Rajesh. So Rajesh, now the floor is yours. You can please continue with the demo.
Thank you very much, Kumar, for the introduction. And hi, all. Very warm welcome to all of you. As Kumar said, I hold overall 13 plus years of experience into MNCs and 10 plus years into IT consulting. And as Kumar said, let us jump into today's agenda. Yeah, like there are a couple of things that we will be discussing in today's demo, starting with introduction to ERP. As Kumar said, we'll be starting from the scratch till advanced level. That means we'll be covering from starting till ERP to till the career opportunities that you are going to get if you learn Oracle Fusion HCM applications and Oracle Recruiting Cloud. Let us start with introduction to ERP. What we are going to learn in introduction to ERP. First, we will see what is ERP and why we need to know about ERP, and what are the business process management software, and what are the business process management software that we have in the market, and how Oracle Fusion application belongs to the ERP family. Now, when I say it is an application, then we have to know on which technology does Oracle Fusion application is built on. We will see how we can access the application and what are the future of the application when we see the introduction of ERP. Now, once we have a brief understanding about the ERP and what is Oracle Fusion applications, then we will see what is Oracle Fusion application product families. When I say Oracle Fusion application, it's not a simple or small module. It is one of the complex and one of the biggest modules which contains a lot of product families. When I say product families, these related to each and every business process that happens in the market. Whatever the business process such as finances, human resources, supply chain, procurement, these are all the product families that we have in Oracle Fusion applications. Oracle Fusion applications. And once we see what are the product families that we have in Oracle Fusion applications, then we will see one of the product family, that is what is Fusion application, what is Fusion HCM. When I say Fusion HCM, when considering the Fusion HCM, it is also not a small module or a small product. Within Fusion HCM, we have different modules. When I say different modules, there are like 14 to 15 modules which serve different purpose related to human resources activity. As the name itself suggests, human capital management. When I say HCM, it means human capital management. When I say human capital management, whatever the human resources related activities in the organization are managed by this particular application called Fusion HCM. And we'll see what are the modules involved and what each module serves the purpose and what is the business significance of each and every module. Now, I told you there are like 14 to 15 modules available in Fusion HCM. Now, you may have a doubt now, like how many modules do you have to learn? Depending upon that question, we have another slide where we will be discussing the career opportunities based upon the modules that you learn. It's not mandatory that you have to learn all the modules, or it's not mandatory. It's like you cannot restrict yourself to one module. There are certain combinations that we will be discussing, and I'll let you know like which is the hottest group that is being looked out in the market, and what is the group that companies are actively looking as of now in the market, and which technology or which module will have less coding or else no coding in that particular application. Once we see what are the career opportunities based upon the modules and grouping by the modules, then we'll come to the actual topic, that is Oracle Recruiting Cloud. Our main agenda for today is to understand what Oracle Recruiting Cloud is and understand the real-time recruiting process that's happening in the market and how we can match the real-time recruiting process with Oracle Recruiting Cloud and how we can implement this particular Oracle Recruiting Cloud from scratch till the advanced level in order to give to the end users. And what is the use of learning Oracle Recruiting Cloud? Friends, I can tell you that Oracle Recruiting Cloud is one of the most sorted application in the market now, because Oracle Recruiting Cloud has come into the market recently. Even though Oracle Fusion applications have come long before, but Oracle Recruiting Cloud has come recently. As Rajesh said, before Oracle Recruiting Cloud, Oracle used to have Talio, a different application, a standalone application. But what Oracle has done is they have introduced this Oracle Recruiting Cloud in order to maintain everything in one application, in the Fusion applications. We'll see from starting till the advanced level of Oracle Recruiting Cloud in this particular section. After that, we'll see the career opportunity as a whole in entire Oracle Fusion application and what you will get as an edge if you have Oracle Recruiting Cloud in your resume, and what Oracle Recruiting Cloud has to offer you, how you can learn, how complex is that Oracle Recruiting Cloud, and why companies are willing to pay more and more for the consultancy of ORC. When I say ORC, it means Oracle Recruiting Cloud. I may use the word ORC when we go into the next topic. When I say ORC, it is called Oracle Recruiting Cloud. These are all will be discussed in today's session. And once these are all discussed, then we'll see what is the knowledge repository that as a Triotech we will be providing you. And what are the contents that we will provide in order to make you train. And we'll walk you through the certification process as well. Why you need to do the certification, what you'll get if you do the certification, and what is the path that you have to follow in order to do the certification. Now comes the most important point. Why Triotech? When I say why Triotech, there are n number of training consultancies that you have in the market. But why as a Triotech we stand out? Because our primary motto from the very beginning is student friendly teaching, prime focus on the subject, and prime focus on making the subject very easy, and continuous touch with the candidates. We always be in touch with the candidates. Our success is our student success. Whatever for whomever we teach a particular module or any course, will not leave his hand. We'll be with him till he gets the job. We'll give placement assistance, one-to-one assistance, what not, from starting till subject to the all the materials, whatever the help that the candidate is needing. There might be a lot of questions for you too as well. As Rajesh said, once we walk through all these courses, then you'll be easily able to understand. But now there might be a small question in your mind. Am I really eligible to learn this particular course? Do I have to learn this course? Like what this course has to offer me? Because like anyone who is learning something will expect something that either it should make him mentally strong, either it should make him professionally strong, or either it may add some value to his career. Now let us see who can learn this course and what are the prerequisites that you should have to learn this particular course. Now let us see who can learn this course. Let's say if you are, why I'm covering all these particular people, because we have like a lot of people who are from diverse background. We might have freshers in this particular call. We might have students who are in their final year, and we might have students who are into the HR background or into the recruiting background or from IT backgrounds who wants to switch their career or else in order to get high paying jobs for them. And we might have candidates from non-IT background. Let's see. If you are in your final year and if you want to add something into your resume and add value to it so that you can stand out in your college at the time of placements, this is a course for you. Let's say you have just completed your graduation and you're looking out for jobs, and most of the graduated students, they post their resumes in Naukri, LinkedIn, and many other portals. But most of the time, 90% of the time, they may not receive any calls. But if you learn this particular course and have this in your resume, then you can easily expect calls from many big MNCs, startups, and medium scale companies. How can I say that there are calls for freshers also? There are a lot of companies that approach Triotech in order to hire trained resources. And we have pitched in a lot of resources, and based upon the subject we taught them, they got jobs in the particular companies, even as the freshers. And the scope of this particular application, Oracle Fusion application, is like that, even though freshers can easily get into the job market based upon the subject or the modules that they learn. Now we have another persons who are already into IT, but they are into a technology which is saturating. They are into a technology which is not growing or which is not paying more. And they got bored and they wanted to change to something exciting technology. Then this is the course for them. And we might have some person, non-IT background people. When I say non-IT, we have like BPO people, and we have someone from HR background, traditional HR backgrounds. We might have recruiters, and we might have people who are working in the recruiting. There are a lot of recruiting tools in the market, Talio and similar to like that. For those kind of non-IT background people, this particular course is very, very much important. If they learn this particular module, they can have a smooth transition. They don't have to struggle hard into the market because they're already into HR background. They can easily switch because knowingly or unknowingly, all the people who do the traditional HR jobs are already the end users of Oracle Recruiting Cloud. Now, after hearing all of these things, you might wonder, now Rajesh is telling that it is not a coding job. That means it is a low code or no code. There is no coding that is available. Then why I am getting high paying jobs? You are getting high paying jobs because this is one of the high sought technology, and every big organization in the market is using ERP softwares for their organizations, and the pay is also very hefty. If you get into this technology and try to gain some experience, but after 4 to 5 years you can easily earn 25 to 45 lakhs. Now this is not an imaginary number. This is the real time number that we got from our students, and we have seen really, and we are drawing the same amounts as well. Now you might wonder, now let's say you may fall into any of this background, but what is the degree that I should have? Do I need to have a CSC background? Do I need to have a BTech background? Do I need to have something related to computer science? No. You can be from any background, starting BTech, degree, MBA. You might be from any background. This particular course is for you. Once you have this particular course trained, and if you have that in your resume, recruiter will only focus on the content that you have in your resume that is related to Fusion application. What are the modules that you know, and how far you can crack the interview? These are the only things that matters once you learn this particular course. That is the beauty of Oracle Fusion application. Now we have seen who can learn this course. Now let us see what you are going to learn. When I say what you are going to learn, as the basic point, as the first stepping stone, we should know what is ERP. When I say ERP, we should know what is Enterprise Resource Planning. When I say ERP, it is an acronym that stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. When I say Enterprise Resource Planning, every big organization in the market will have one or more business processes, which are maintained based on the size and scope of the organization. When I say business process, let us understand what do you mean by business process. Let's say there is a big organization which has to manage all its business process. When I say big organization, it may have n number of business process. When I say business process, it means finance, human resource, customer service, supply chain. If they are big enough, then they should be managed as individual departments. They cannot be managed under a single umbrella and with a single application. They should be maintained as a individual application, and that should be managed as a different business process. Now let's say financials as a separate department, human resource as a separate department, customer service as a separate department, and supply chain as a separate department. All of this individually called as the business processes. All of these individually called as business processes. But in order to manage all this business process, it is humanly impossible. Then comes the interesting point, that is business process management software or ERP software. There are thousands of ERP applications that are available in the market. When I say thousands of applications that are available in the market, if I take only few that are top notch, the top players in the market, such as SAP, Workday, Salesforce, Sage, Pegasus, I have all these applications. And one such application in Oracle Fusion, which belongs to this ERP family. Similar to SAP, Workday, Salesforce, Sage, Oracle Fusion application is also one of the business process management software which belongs to this ERP family. Now we got to know that the purpose of Oracle Fusion applications, and what are business process management software, and what is the purpose of this business management software. Now let us understand, as our primary focus is related to human resource, we'll see what is human resource and what are the human resource activities that are performed, and which business process helps us to manage this human process. But before that, let us understand how Oracle Fusion application looks like and what is the technology that it is built upon. Now, Oracle Fusion application is a SaaS-based cloud platform. From past few years, you might have heard the word cloud technology. One such application is Oracle Fusion. Oracle Fusion application is also a cloud-based technology. When I say cloud-based technology, what is it? Is software hosted over internet. That means when I say software hosted over internet, whenever customer buys the product, Oracle product from Oracle, he will only get a web link where the entire data will be hosted in the Oracle servers. That means customer has to only receive this link, the username and the credential, and then he can easily access the entire data of his organization. You don't have to maintain any data, or he don't have to worry about security. He don't want to have to worry about upgrades. He don't have to worry about the data store. Everything will be taken care by Oracle. Now let us see how this application looks like and how we can access this particular application. Now, once you have this application, the web link, this is how it look like. Once you receive, you'll see the login page. You'll see the login page like this. Once you buy this product, you will get the user ID. Let us see. Let us log in and see. Let me enter my username. Let me enter the password. This is the login page. This is how it will look like. Once I log into this place, I can access the n number of applications which are related to the business process. As I said, there are n number of business process, financial, supply chain, human capital management, everything. We have these different options, and we have these info tiles here. I can access anything from these particular options. We'll see everything about this particular option in the next class. Once we create the user, we'll see how to create the users and how to access these applications and what this application has to offer and what we can do, what are the wonders that we can perform in this particular option, so that we can have that our business process in the application. Now we have seen what is Oracle Fusion application is and how we can access that particular application. Now let us jump out to our prime focus, which is Fusion HCM, which is related to human resource. Now, as I said, every big organization based upon the employee headcount, they need to have a separate HR department, and they need to maintain the day-to-day life cycle of the employee. When I say day-to-day activities of employee, there are like n number of things that they have to perform, how they are going to perform. In order to achieve this particular thing, we have an application called Fusion HCM, which is part of Oracle Fusion application, and we have Oracle Fusion HCM, which is responsible to manage the entire life cycle of the employee, and by which we can manage various activities over the life cycle of the employee. Now let us understand. Now, as I told you, there are n number of business processes. Let us understand what are the product families that we have in Oracle Fusion applications. Let us jump to the next slide. Now, if you see here, you can easily understand. If let's say an organization has financials, then they'll use this particular product family, financial management, in order to maintain the complete activity of financials for the particular organization. Now they will have another application, another module called human capital management. When by implementing human capital management, they can easily manage their human capital. That means human resources. They how they can manage by you having human capital management. There are certain modules. We'll discuss about each and every module in the coming slides. And we have other product family called customer relationship management, portfolio management, procurement, supply chain, government risk and compliance. Now let us understand, before going into the deep into the modules, let us understand what is human capital management. Now, as I told you, every big organization will have a HR team, a dedicated HR team, and a dedicated HR application in order to manage all the activities. Now, in the human capital management, when I'm managing that employees, I cannot do it in a single application or in a single process, because each and every activity that happens in the life cycle of the employee differs based upon the stage that the person is in. Let's say when you are being hired into an organization, there is a process called recruiting that happens. Now let's say when you are in the organization, there is a process that happens differently. You will take leaves and you will draw salary. All these kinds of tasks cannot be managed in a single application or in a single module. Now, before understanding the modules that are available in human capital management and what is the purpose they serve, the particular module, what is the purpose they serve, before understanding all of these things, let us understand the life cycle of the employee. Now, if you see to the right side of the slide, you can see the employee life cycle. Let us briefly understand the employee life cycle. Now, this employee life cycle is not restricted only to Oracle Recruiting Cloud. It is the life cycle of the employee across the globe and across the software. Like I told you, right, there are many business process management applications and softwares. In every application, in every software, this particular life cycle is common. This employee life cycle is common. Now we'll see how the employee life cycle looks in the real time, and we'll try to have compare them with the modules that we have in Oracle Fusion HCM. Now let us understand the life cycle of the employee. How the life cycle begins of an employee. Let's say there is an organization and there is a job opening in the organization. Now they want to have someone get hired to perform a certain job in that particular organization. What they will do, they will start the recruiting process. Now this has started from the organization end. Now what candidate will do? Candidate, to survive in the market, to do something, to get a job, to earn money, he'll start looking for a job. Then they go both meet it the with the help of career site, that means through the Naukri portal or consultancies or agencies, any such kind of medium, they'll meet and there will be a process called interview. And once they select, they'll complete the recruiting process. Once the recruiting process is done, let's say the candidate got selected. Now next comes the important point, that is onboarding. When I say onboarding, what do you mean by onboarding? Now we got to know that particular candidate is okay for me to perform the job in my organization. Then I cannot blindly take that person into my organization, right? There are certain checks that I have to perform. There are certain documents that I have to collect. There are certain things that I have to provide to that employee. And there are certain compliance documents that employee has to fill. That process we'll do in the onboarding. We'll call it as onboarding. And in that particular organization, once the candidate got hired, they'll give certain benefits. They'll give life insurance, medical insurance, PF, ESI, all these kind of things. They'll give, organization will give certain benefits. And candidate got hired into the organization. What happens after 1 month? Candidate will look for the salary. How that salary get processed and how the payroll get processed. Organization will have certain applications in order to process the payroll, or modules in order to process the payroll. Now these are all done. Now once the candidate got hired, there are certain daily activities that the employee has to perform, right? He has to be in a project. He has to report to someone. He has to report to someone. Sorry. He has to report to someone, and he has to manage his data, and he has to manage his absences. That means, like, whenever an employee joins in the organization, he cannot work continuously. Based upon the situations that he is in, he has to take certain leaves. When I say certain leaves, there are certain leaves that are to be configured. That means, like, based upon the location and the situation, most of you guys might have already seen such leaves called casual leave, annual leave, emergency leave. These kind of leaves where we'll configure in the particular application that will help in order to maintain the absences. Now in this life cycle, when the candidate, like, let's say candidate has completed 1 year, based upon the performance,
Rajesh,
candidate has to give.
Rajesh, sorry to interrupt. Rajesh, can you please go to presentation view? I think slide looks very zoom out.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we have here at the bottom beside the volume, zoom in, zoom out. We have no PPT. Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Sorry guys. Sorry for the interruption. Now we have seen how employee will manage these day-to-day activities with the help of what he'll be able to manage his activities, and how he can manage his activities. Now we have seen, now after working for 1 year, there is a process, like, based upon the performance of the employee, we need to give some appraisals to that employee. That particular process has to be managed. There is a salary change. Now, after working for 1 to 2 years, let's say employee wants to resign from the organization. Now there is a process called separation. This is how everything happens in the real time. Now, what Oracle Fusion HCM will do? Now, Oracle Fusion HCM will not do something out of the box, or it will not make the real-time employee lifecycle change. But what Oracle Fusion HCM or Oracle has done is, by managing everything, by taking the market best practices, by taking the market best practices, how to manage the employee cycle, they have created different modules based upon the business requirement and make to fit the employee life cycle. They have created different modules so that organizations with either say like 10,000 employees, 1 lakh employees or 10 lakh employees, they can have their employee life cycle managed seamlessly. That means their HR operations can operate very easily. Now let us see what are the modules that we have in Fusion HCM and what is the purpose of each and every module and what is the significance of this module. Now let us start from Oracle Recruiting Cloud. As I said, Oracle Recruiting Cloud a critical role in entire Fusion HCM module. If you take the other modules that are below, they are internal modules. Like once the candidate got into the organization, then these particular modules will start functioning, and they'll offer their features to that particular employee. He can use those applications and he can perform certain activities. But whereas Oracle Recruiting Cloud is the face of the company. Now, let's say there is an organization and there is a job opening. Where they will post? They'll post in the career site. That means in the Naukri portals, LinkedIn, Indeed, like that. And what candidate will do? If there is one job opening, there is a chance that there are like 1,000 of job application, 1 lakh job application, or 10 lakh job application. That means based upon your job opening, there are job applications. That means your organization is being exposed outside through Oracle Recruiting Cloud. Whatever you configure as a part of Oracle Recruiting Cloud will be seen by the external candidate. Let's say you have posted a job application, and when candidate is trying to apply, he is not able to apply due to some configuration error. What is at stake? Your reputation. Organization's reputation will be at stake. What that particular person who is not able to apply will do? He'll not come to you, or there are less sources that he can reach out to the company. What he'll do? He'll directly jump into some public platform, Facebook or somewhere, and he'll give a comment. Then that particular comment will impact the reputation of the organization. That is the importance that Oracle Recruiting Cloud carries. Now, this is about the external world. What is the impact of the external world? Now, let us understand the internal impact. Let's say due to some errors or anything, I'm not able to hire a particular employee. What happens? What is the impact? I will lose money. The time that I'm losing to hire that candidate, because there is a project that is ongoing on, but I'm not able to hire the candidate. Now, if there is anything that misses in the recruiting cloud, these are the different benefits and disadvantages if you do not use Oracle Recruiting Cloud efficiently and correctly. Now, the recruiting cloud carrying this much importance, do you have any coding in this one? There is no coding, absolutely no coding. These are just certain configuration. I can say that these are independent configurations, and you can easily learn each and every configuration, and you can easily implement Oracle Cloud from the scratch to the complete implementation. Now, once the recruiting process is done, what is the next process? Then comes the onboarding module. Then when I say onboarding module, whoever the candidate got offer is released to the candidate, and candidate accepted the offer. Now, what is the next step? The organization has to collect some data from the candidate. Let's say for the background check, they will collect the education documents. For the compliance trainings, they will give some trainings to the candidate so that he can attend and he can understand the company policies. Now, after that, there are some NOC documents that candidate has to sign. All this cannot be done manually. They cannot email to the 1,000 candidate, and they cannot ask 1,000 candidate to submit those from the email. It is humanly impossible. What they will do? They will have everything configured, one configuration in the application. They'll click trigger once the candidate is moved to this onboarding model. Then automatically they'll be triggered once the candidate submits those. Automatically recruiter will receive the update. Now, candidate got onboarded. Now, what is the next thing? Where that particular data will flow? The data will flow into core HR. where they'll be able to manage the employees hire to retire cycle. When I say hire, after the onboarding, the candidate become an employee. Once the candidate becomes an employee, the entire life cycle after onboarding will start. That means organization has to manage his absences, organization has to maintain his records, and organization has to manage his salary, all these things from hire to retire. When the candidate wants to submit his resignation, all this base module, and this core HR is one of the base module. For all the modules, core HR is the base module, because the employee data will be available in core HR, from his personal details, for employment details, and his skills. Everything will be stored in core HR. That is the significance of this core HR. Now, what is the purpose of the absence module? As I said, when the person gets into the organization, every organization has to provide certain leaves to that candidate. Now, let's say organization provided some leaves. How candidate can take the leaves? There should be some interface that should be developed, right? Now that will be configured in this absence module. And we have payroll module. In order to process the payroll, I cannot process like taking the account number. I cannot deposit from phone pay or Google Pay or anywhere. I should have a particular process to process the payroll for thousands of employees. And processing the payroll is not only the main issue. The main issue is to capture the data. What is the salary that I'm paying that employee? I have to capture that information and I have to provide it to the government for the audit purposes. Now, okay, you're processing the salary and you're maintaining the absences. How the employee is working? Where are you capturing that one? How the employee is working? When he is logging in, when he is logging out, where you're capturing that particular information. Then comes the module called Oracle Time and Labor. When I say time and labor, this particular module will have time cards designed or configured in order to capture the login, logout, or the number of days that the person worked, and captures the absences, the leaves that the person has taken. Now, next comes the module called compensation. Now, I told you, like, we'll capture the login, logout time and everything. Let's say employee worked for 1 year. Now, we have to change the salary. Firstly, we have to capture the salary. After that, we have to change the salary in the due course. Salary will not be constant, right? Salary will change. In any employee life cycle, salary has to change. If it's not changing, employee will leave the organization. Now, I'm changing the salary and that's okay. But where I'm capturing that one? In 2024, my salary is 20 lakhs. And what happens in 2025? Okay, if they confirm verbally, does that matter or else is it captured anywhere? No. This particular compensation module, by implementing this compensation module, we'll be able to manage all the compensation related activities. Now, I told you there are certain benefits. Now, application will not understand the benefits that we know, right? We have to configure in the application what are the types of benefits and who is eligible for the benefits. These kind of configurations we'll do in the benefits module. Now comes the talent management module. What is the talent management module? I told you, like, employees working in the organization, but after some times we have to evaluate the performance. And in order to evaluate the performance, we have a module called performance management. How you will evaluate the performance of the employee? By assigning the goals. We have a module called goal management. These are the sub modules in the talent management. And let's say I have assigned some goals and the candidate is performing exceptionally. Then I have a module called succession management in order to manage the promotions and the performance level appraisals for the employee. And likewise, we have profile management, which is a module in order to maintain the profile of the employee. Now we have another module called Oracle Learning Mode. When I say Oracle Learning Cloud, this particular module, let's say employee is working in an organization, and nowadays every organization is looking to upskill their employees internally. Instead of hiring a new person, every organization are developing their own learning catalog. That means within their organization, they are taking some trainers and they are developing certain courses for Java, Oracle Fusion applications, even Oracle Fusion applications also for DevOps. They'll develop their own internal courses and they will have them in their own catalog so that employees who doesn't know can see them and learn them and apply for the jobs in order to move within the organization. For that one, to serve this particular purpose, we have Oracle Learning Cloud as a separate model. And next comes the common features. This is not a specific module, but there are certain common features that we have in Fusion HCM, which are common to all these modules. Now, let's say I have all these modules. What comes into the picture? When an employee is taking leave, it should not get automatically approved, right? If I'm taking the leave, if in application I can see it is completed, then that means there is no one that is to monitor that particular process. In order to monitor, let's say manager has to approve that leave, we'll configure the approval rules there. Now I told you, in application we'll have all the employee data in core HR. Now let's say if everybody is able to see everybody's information, is that good? No. Employee privacy should be maintained. To maintain that one, we have a feature called security. Now when I say security, and we have another modules, as I told you, Oracle Fusion applications comes as a standard product from Oracle. If I wanted to change it or add any fields or do any page level changes, if let's say now my presentation is like this, if I want to add anything here, I can easily add. But as per Oracle Fusion applications, if I wanted to change anything, I have to make use of sandboxes to do the personalization at the application level. These are all the modules that we have in Fusion applications, Fusion HCM. Now, Rajesh, you are telling that there are like 150 modules that we have in Fusion HCM. Do you have to learn all of these modules? No. There are certain groups in this module, and it is humanly impossible for any consultant. You can see any consultant in the market. Nobody is an SME in all these modules. They might know few modules, but they will be SME in one or two modules only. Now, to make you better understand and to make you understand what are the career opportunities available with what groups of module, which group I should select and which group is easy and what is the importance of each group, I'll explain you in the next slide. Career opportunities based upon modules. Now I have grouped them into A, B, C, D, E. And if you see in group A, I have core HR and absence module. In group B, I have core HR, absence and payroll. And in group C, I have core HR, Oracle Recruiting Cloud and onboarding. And in group D, I have core HR, talent management, E, core HR, OTL and absence management. If you go with any of these modules, you can easily land up in a job. Now, Rajesh, you are telling that I can easily land up in a job by learning any of these group courses. Why I cannot go for core HR and absences? As I told you, Oracle Fusion has come into market. Fusion application has come into market in 2011. These are all the modules: core HR, absence and payroll, talent management, OTL and absence. These were the modules that were available in Fusion applications from the very beginning. That means there are a lot of skill sets that is available in the market. And if you go with core HR and absence, there is a certain cap. You cannot go beyond. Like if you are expecting more salary and if you are looking for no like not much technical one, then this core HR one will have a stagnating point. But whereas Oracle Recruiting Cloud and onboarding is considered, these are the latest modules that are infused into Fusion HCM. Now I'm saying, when I'm saying Oracle Recruiting Cloud is recently introduced, you can ask Rajesh, what was there before? What was Oracle was using before Oracle Recruiting Cloud? There is a separate application called Talio. It was a standard and standalone application where only it was used to do the recruiting process. That means there should be two applications. If I wanted to integrate with Talio, if I want to manage my recruiting in Talio, I then organization should have two applications. One is Fusion Oracle Fusion HCM and the other one is Talio. Now, when the entire recruiting process completes in Talio, then that particular data should flow to Fusion HCM. That means there is a manual work that is being increased by using Talio. That's the reason Oracle Recruiting Cloud is introduced, and by using all the market best practices, this particular module got configured and it is automating all the recruiting related activities. Now you might have a doubt. Now if there are like plenty of applications in the market which are related to recruiting like Talio and the success pattern, there are other applications as well. Now for whom this particular module will have an edge, for whoever who are doing all the HR related jobs, they can easily get into this particular job because they are already an end users. Now as I said, it is related to the HR people and his HR people can easily get into this job. Then what about the freshers? Even though freshers have a fantastic openings in this job, as I said, it got recently introduced in 2018. There are thousands of organizations who were still in Talio and wanted to move into Oracle Recruiting Cloud. That is the reason we got a boost in hiring of Oracle Recruiting Cloud. And this particular technology will not stop anywhere. You will see in the next slide why Oracle Recruiting Cloud will not stop and why it is mandatory to every organization. What is the life cycle of this particular recruiting process? You'll see in the coming slide. Let us see what is the recruiting life cycle. Now, this recruiting life cycle I'm taking in general. Now, recruiting is not related to some Oracle product, right? Recruiting happens everywhere in the world. Even you guys have joined in this demo and you'll be joining in the course only to get a job. When you try for a job, you will see all this recruiting cycle. If you are already experienced, you might have gone through this recruiting cycle one or more times. But if you are a fresher, but you should definitely go through this process in your career. Now let us see the steps that we have in recruitment life cycle. Let's say there is an organization and there is a project. In that project, there is a need to have someone get hired. Now what the project manager will do, he will inform the recruiter to start the hiring process to have a person recruited into the project. Now once the recruiter gets the requirement, what he will do, he will reach out to consultancies or Naukri portals, or he will post in their own career site. Let's say Infosys is having an opening. What Infosys first thing that they will do, they'll post into their Infosys career site. Now it has got posted into the career site. What happens? Candidate starts applying and candidates reach out to consultancies. Consultancies share their resumes to organizations. Once the, let's say, recruiter got 100 resumes for one opening, what recruiter will do, he'll start screening if it is matching my business requirement, if it is matching the job description, does the candidate have the educational standards that are required for this particular job. Then the particular screening part will be done. Once the screening is done, recruiter will identify the panel and he will share that profile with the interview panel. Then interview panel gives the interview schedule to the interviewer. Once receiving the availability of the interviewer, once the availability of the interviewer schedules, recruiter schedules the interview of the candidate. Once the interview is scheduled, then there will be an interview. Once the interview is done, the interviewer will share the feedback. Now, based upon the feedback, if the feedback is positive, recruiter will move to the next step. He will ask for your documents. Just email me the documents. Once he'll check your documents, once the documents are good, then he will proceed with the offer release. Once the offer is released, candidate accepts the offer. Now, let's say candidate accepted the offer. Now, till here, the recruiting process will be done. Once the candidate accepts the offer, then starts the onboarding process. This is a general recruiting life cycle. I think more than 90% of you might have gone through this process and you can easily relate this one. When I'm speaking about the each step, you might have some memories from your past interviews and okay, I have gone through the recruiting process. Okay, after the final interview, I got the feedback. These kind of things that you can easily recollect and you can easily relate. That is the beauty of Oracle Recruiting Cloud. You can easily relate it with the real time and you can easily understand the configurations as well. Why I am doing this particular configuration, where I am using it in real time. Everything is related to the real time. You can easily relate and you can easily understand. Now, we have seen how the real time recruiting happens. Okay, that is wonderful. Now, what is Oracle Recruiting Cloud has to do with it? What is ORC has to do with it? Now, what Oracle has done is by capturing all the recruiting practices that happens in the market and capturing all the best practices, all the recruiting best practices, and they have developed an application called Oracle Recruiting Cloud by including all the best practices. Now, when I say what are all the best practices, we'll see in the next slide. Now coming to Oracle Recruiting Cloud. Oracle Recruiting Cloud is a solution that is offered to organizations in order to maintain their recruiting process by reducing the manual intervention. Now, if I'm doing, let's say I have to hire 1,000 employees. If I'm doing it manually, I need at least 10 recruiters. That means manual power has increased. That means manual intervention is being increased at every stage of recruiting. Then after that, if I'm having 10 employees, then there are costs. If there are costs, and if everything is done manually, then there is a chance of errors and like efficiency decrease. But having Oracle Recruiting Cloud implemented, I can have reducing manual intervention, I can reduce cost, and I can improve efficiency and accuracy. Now, till here, it's all okay. Now, this is related to something manual intervention cost and efficiency. Now, what is the business use? Like if a candidate is getting hired into Oracle Recruiting Cloud, what is the business use and where that particular data is going? When I spoke about Talio, I told you I have to get the data from one place and I have to dump it in the Fusion application, Fusion HCM in again. That means there is a redundancy. That means there is a process that is happening which is of no use. But if I have that Oracle Recruiting Cloud in the same application, as soon as the recruiting and onboarding is done, the same candidate data will flow into these modules. That means when I say, I told you, like in core HR, I can manage entire employee life cycle, right? That means whatever the data that I have in core recruiting, it will flow into the core HR. What is the data I capture at the time of recruiting? I'll capture personal details. I'll capture work experience. I'll capture education details. I'll capture the certification that the person has done. All these kinds of data and what is the skill set that he's carrying, what is the position that he got had. All this data will seamlessly flow into core HR. And the skill set that the person is carrying and the certification I can manage in the talent management. I don't have to go into the talent management and I have to update it again. It will automatically flow into that application. Now, at the time of hiring, the main point, the salary negotiation and the salary fixation. Like once you get the offer letter, it's not the end, right? If they are giving you some offer letter, they should have that particular data in the application to be maintained. Okay, for particular Rajesh, the salary is 35 lakhs. That particular data has to be maintained in the application and that is flown into compensation. As soon as the salary is given to you, that will be flown to the compensation module. These are the benefits of having the Oracle Recruiting Cloud in the Fusion application. And now we have seen the benefits and everything, and we have seen the real-time recruiting lifecycle. But who will manage this recruiting life cycle in the recruiting cloud? How normal recruiting cloud fits into this Oracle Recruiting Cloud? For that one, there is a certain change. That means, as I told you, Oracle has taken all the best practices and removed all the redundant process. Like if the process is not required in the recruiting, removing that one and configuring certain standard process, they have configured a recruiting lifecycle related to Oracle, which will make it very easy and which is related to the real time and which is of more efficient than all the recruiting process, than the real time recruiting process where everything is automated with minimal manual intervention. Now, before seeing the recruiting lifecycle in Oracle Recruiting Cloud, let me introduce to few roles. Like there are certain roles who people who involved in the recruiting process. Now, if you see here in this particular image, you can see I have given here hiring manager, I have given here as recruiter, I have given here as consultant, and I've used certain terms, career site, job portals, and other things. Now, when I come to the roles, the people who are involved in the recruiting, they are hiring manager, recruiter, collaborator, human resource specialist, and agencies. You have to remember these roles, and each and every role has a different purpose. Hiring manager is the person who is in the project and initiate the requisition, and recruiter is the owner of the requisition, and the collaborator is the person who will be helping the recruiter. When I say helping the recruiter, a single person cannot manage the complete recruitment, right? He should have someone who can assist, like a junior recruiter. You cannot add them as a recruiter to that particular thing. For that convenience, there is a role called collaborator. We can add collaborator into that particular requisition and they can manage the requisition or the job opening. Now we have human resource specialist. When the, let's say, recruiting process is done, who will handle the onboarding process? Human resource specialist. And whatever the roles that I'm speaking about, most of you guys might have heard all of these terms in your day-to-day life and in any organization life cycle. If you're already in the organization, you might have already heard this. For those who are freshers, these are the terms you will be hearing for the rest of your life, because once you get into the job market, the first thing you'll start hearing the name recruiter. When you're onboarding, you'll start hearing the name human resource specialist. When you are into the organization, you will start hearing the hiring manager. Who is the hiring manager? And if you are actively looking for the job, you'll start hearing the name agencies. Now let us see the hiring process, how it got fit into this one. Now in Oracle Recruiting Cloud or ORC, hiring managers raises the requisition. That means once opening is identified, the project manager is called the hiring manager, will start the requisition and he will share it with the recruiter. Recruiter will complete the requisition. That means he will give the job description, he will give all the other details and the education details, what are the education details that are required and what is the skill set that they're looking for. He'll do all the related activities and he will post in the career side, that means in the job market, or he'll share it with the agencies that they are tied up with. Once it is there, candidates start reaching out to any of these forums and they will apply. Once it is applied, this particular application will be taken by the, like, seen by the recruiter in the application. Then let's say there are 1,000 applications, recruiter will start screening them. Once he screens the application, then with the help of application only, there are certain tools in the application. Now, when I say 1,000 employees, if I have to screen manually, that is humanly impossible. Now, in Oracle Recruiting Cloud, we have certain features. That is the beauty of it. We have certain features where with certain criteria, I can easily eliminate more than 600 to 700 resumes, or 800, 900 if that particular skill set is not matching. Those kind of things are there, and recruiter screens and he'll share it with the interviewer and schedules the interview. Now, both the recruiter and hiring manager checks the availability of the candidate and they will conduct the interview. Once the interview is done, they will receive the feedback. Now, if the feedback is positive, recruiter releases the offer letter and candidate accepts the offer letter. Now, here completes the recruiting activity. Now, I told you regarding the complete the Oracle Recruiting Cloud process, how the end users use it. But in order to use everything, there should be someone who should implement this particular set of tasks in the application. Who is that particular person? Now, here comes the important point. Who is that particular person and why we are speaking about that person? And the main agenda of this course is to know about that person and to become one of the implementation consultant. Now, we'll see all the configurations items that are required to build an ORC from scratch till the complete implementation. Now, there are certain, as I told you, there are certain configuration. In this course, we'll cover all the setup tasks that are related to ORC, and we'll discuss each and every setup in detail. Let us see the course details. Now, if you see here, these are the topics that we'll be discussing in all the modules. We have Oracle Recruiting Cloud, Oracle Fusion Onboarding, Oracle Workflows, Cloud Security, and Global HR. Now, let us see what we will be discussing in Oracle Fusion Recruiting Cloud. What the course has to offer you, and at the end of the course, what you will be able to do. And when I say you'll become an ORC implementation consultant if you learn this particular course, then you should know a certain setup task and what it takes to do the setups, right? Now, firstly, we'll discuss the introduction to the recruiting. We'll see what recruiting process happens in the market and what we have to do the basic setup, and we'll understand the recruiting life cycle from the ORC perspective, and what are the prerequisites that we need to have Oracle Recruiting Cloud implemented, and we'll see the end user experience. I told you, right? Now we have spoken about the hiring manager, recruiter, collaborator, agencies, candidates. These are all the end users. We'll have a complete end-to-end recruiting lifecycle where we can see the end-to-end recruiting process, how it happens through the application from the eyes of the end users. Now, I have seen the recruiting process from the eyes of end users. Now, what I have to do? Then we have certain security criteria that will define, based upon the role that we have, we will define the security and we'll discuss about the security. And we have other pages in the recruiting ORC where we have to configure, and this is the heart. This is one of the important page where we'll see the basic setup, the first setup, how my recruiting ORC should look like, and how my requisition number, like every job opening should have a specific number to identify that one. We'll give all those basic details, and this is a place where we will integrate ORC with LinkedIn and ORC with Microsoft. We can enable the integration at this page level. We'll see all these features in this particular page. And we have a particular task called pre-screening questions. Now, in the previous example, when we are discussing about the ORC recruiting lifecycle, I told you, like, what happens if a recruiter receives 1,000 profiles? What happens? There should be something that has to be configured in order to make that automated. So that recruiter, by assigning certain criteria, recruiter should able to differentiate which profile is matching and which profile is not. What I can do, let us take an example. Let's say if the organization is looking for a candidate who is working in Hyderabad, what they can do when they are posting that particular job, they can create a disqualification question and have that in the job application. Whenever the candidate is applying, if he is are you local of Hyderabad? If he is selecting no, then that particular profile is a reject. Let's say I have received 1,000 application and let's say 800 members kept it as no, then recruiter has the benefit of not going into those 800 resumes and he can easily screen. Likewise, we have pre-screening questions as well. How closely the profile is matching with the job requirement. These kind of things I can configure using pre-screening questions. And we have job requisition management. Based upon the job opening, I can configure the job requisition. What is the job description that should have? What is the path that it should follow? What is the business unit that it has been raised? What is the location that it has been raised? I can have all this in the job requisition management. Now, I have another configuration called notifications and alerts. What are notifications and alerts? When a recruiting process is happening, let us imagine all of you who are in this call, let's say you have received some update from me and I'm not hearing back from you. That means there is no notification from you and from me. Now, when the complete recruiting process is happening, firstly, when the candidate applies for the job, recruiter will get a notification alert stating that this particular candidate has applied for this job. Let's say the recruiter has screened that particular candidate. Candidate will receive a notification stating your profile is shortlisted. Now, all that kind of notification will be configured here and all will be automated. It's not like a recruiter should go there and click on any button so that the notification will go. No, whenever the recruiter moves that candidate to that particular screening phase, then automatically candidate receives the notification. Now comes the important and the core point, the candidate selection process. This is the heart of recruiting. When I say this is the heart of recruiting, this is the engine that drives the recruiting process, the entire recruiting process. We'll learn how to configure the candidate selection from scratch, and you'll be able to once this course is done, you'll be able to develop candidate selection process from the advanced level based on the organization requirement. And this now, if I wanted to know what is the use of this candidate selection process in the recruiting life cycle, we have seen there are n number of stages: applying, screening, interview, feedback, background check. There are n number of steps. How a recruiter can track if there are 1,000 employees? If I go and ask him, let's say with any name, okay, recruiter, where is Rajesh currently? In which state Rajesh is currently? Can a recruiter say no? In order to maintain that one, this candidate selection process, if recruiter can go into the application and search for that particular candidate, he'll be able to see where I am and where my recruiting process is. In order to track and manage the recruiting process, this candidate selection process configuration is important. Now we have another configuration called job application flows. Now, when I say job application flows, directly or indirectly, whoever in the call might definitely have applied for anything. Let's say you are applying for any examination, or whether you are applying for any job, you will see certain sections in the application, right? You have to provide certain data like your personal details, education details, experience details. Now, how that particular form is built, from where that configuration is done to collect certain information, and it is not collecting certain information. Like in some applications, you can see your marital status, but in some applications, you will not see marital status. What is the difference between these two flows or two job applications? In once you will be able to see marital status, and in the other you are not able to see. That means it has been configured somewhere. The job application is configured somewhere. That job applications will be able to configure once we are done with this configuration task. Now, next comes the important point, the career side. Now, here we have seen we'll be configuring the job application, where the job application will be posted. You will be going to some web page, right? From that web page, you'll be able to apply for that job. In Oracle Recruiting Cloud, organization can design their own career site. That means they can develop their own career site. Now we spoke about web page and the career site. Okay, you can ask Rajesh, I don't know how to build web pages. I don't know HTML. I don't know anything that can build a web page. No, you don't have to worry. Only with the drag and drop mechanism, you will be able to develop the career site. That we will cover in this particular course. Once you are done with this course, you will easily able to create the career site. Not at the end of the course, even at the beginning. Like the first thing we will be discussing about the career site only. You will be easily able to create a career site of your own. Now, okay, job applications are done, everything. You have created the content, and all the other things are done. Now comes the important point, the job offer, right? Every candidate will look for the job offer. Now, every organization will have your, let's say you got offer from Infosys and you got offer from TCS. Both the offer will not be same. every organization will have their own templates, every organization will have their own salary breakup. How every organization configure their job offers? We'll see how we can configure the job offers, where we can have the job offers configured, and where we can store them, and where we can use the same template again and again, and how a recruiter can edit that particular job offer. Okay, job offer is edited, and we'll see the configuration of interview scheduling templates. What is the need of configuring the interview schedule templates? If you see here, now in the interview life cycle, interview schedule is one of the mandatory things. Like if the interview is not scheduled, then you're not part of the hiring activity, or there is nothing to go further, right? They will not select you just by seeing your resume. Then there should be a schedule that should be sent by coordinating with the interviewer, recruiter, and the candidate. In order to make the recruiter life easy, what we will do as a implementation consultant, we will develop interview schedule templates based upon the business requirement. We'll develop the templates so that recruiter can use the same template again, and you, by providing minimal information, he can easily schedule the interview. We'll see that in the interview scheduling templates, and we'll create the recruiting campaigns. We'll see how to create the recruiting campaigns. Like when I say recruiting campaigns, what is the need of recruiting campaign in any organization? Like I think by today also, like you will be receiving mostly like all the mails from every organization. Like if you, by any chance, if you go into any organization, if you try to apply for one job, after that you'll start receiving if there is any opening in this particular company, how you are going to receive that one. Because once there is a job application, what organizations will do, they will run campaigns. That means by having your profile, if it is matching your skill set, then they will run that particular campaign, and automatically that mail will come into your inbox, and if you're interested, you can apply for that one. And in this particular Oracle Recruiting Cloud, we'll see the reference and the flex fields and the talent community. When I say talent community, we'll configure this talent community in career site itself. What is the use of having the talent community? Now, let's say there is an Infosys organization and you are a skill set of DevOps. There is no current opening in Infosys as of now, but you are very interested to get into DevOps in Infosys only. What you can do, organization will offer an option to join their talent community. That means you can update your profile in that particular career site so that it will have them your profile in their repository. As soon as when there is a job opening that matches your skill set, they will reach out to you, and we'll set up the agency hiring. Now I told you, we recruiter will collaborate with agencies, that means consultancies also. How recruiter will be able to connect with the agencies? How that particular connection will happen? They will configure the agencies in the application. That means they will give access to the agencies. We'll set up all the agencies, and recruiter can easily access that agency. And let's say if there is a job opening, when he's posting in the career site and job portals, recruiter can easily share that to the agencies also, so that agencies also start working in the same. And in the agencies, there is a beauty. What agencies can do, they can also update their upload the candidate profile on behalf of the candidate. That means they can do the application process. We'll see how we can configure and how a candidate can apply for the job. And we have the schedule processes. That means whatever that we configure and whatever the actions that happens on the daily basis, we'll see which schedule process is responsible. That means I cannot do, like, let's say if one candidate is applying, it should not directly show up in the application in the same time, right? I should do it in a bulk manner. Like, let's say if the candidate is applying, I have a dedicated schedule process for this particular candidate applications. If I have scheduled that one for every 5 minutes, then I'll be able to see whoever the candidates applied in the last 5 minutes. We have similarly, we have a lot of schedule process. Once we see the entire recruiting life cycle, I'll be able to brief you about the schedule process. And we have other common features in this one. We'll be discussing once we are into the course, once we see the application in detail, when we are familiar with the application. Now we have seen all the configuration activities that we will be doing in Oracle Recruiting Cloud. But when you complete the particular course to certain extents, you'll be easily able to understand what we are going to learn. Similarly, we have Oracle Fusion Onboarding. As I told you, we'll create certain tasks for the employee to complete. Such as, like, if I wanted to collect certain documents, I can create a checklist and have candidate to upload those documents. And if I want to assign a survey to that candidate, I can assign a survey. If I wanted to collect a signature from the candidate, I can collect the signature. And if I wanted to have anything, like if I wanted to receive the background documents, I can easily performed by creating the checklist templates, and I don't have to manually go and assign to the candidate. There is a process in the application. That means there is a certain standard setups that we will perform. As soon as candidate completes the recruiting process, automatically the checklist that I have configured in the automatic onboarding will be assigned. I don't have to do manually. They will automatically get triggered. Now here in the recruiting process, candidate will be called as candidate. Now, once he moves to the onboarding phase, he'll be called as a pending worker. As soon as the person becomes a pending worker, then I can easily trigger these templates by configuring these templates based upon the business requirement, based upon the onboarding activities that I have to perform. Then I can easily assign it to the candidate, and we'll learn how to create the checklist and how to assign it to the candidate and how to integrate it with the other modules and how to collect the data and how to see the completion status of the data. We'll see everything in the Oracle Fusion onboarding. Now we have these two common features: cloud security, workflows, and approvals. Now, as a part of the next class on Monday, we'll be seeing how you'll be able to create the user account, how you'll set the password policy, and what are the types of roles, and how you'll be able to assign the roles to your person. That means on Monday, after this class, you'll be able to access the application. You will know how to create a role, how to create a user, and what is the user and what is the employee. You'll understand all these differences in the cloud security, and you'll see after that one, when we are dealing with the Oracle Recruiting Cloud, we'll see the other options as well: security profiles, data roles and security profiles, custom role. We'll create custom roles as well as a part of ORC and a part of onboarding as a part of global HR trainings. And we'll see what is the role provisioning also. Now, next comes the workflows and approvals. Why do we need approvals? As I told you, let's say if a hiring manager sees an opening and if he's raising a requisition, if it gets directly approved, it is of like there is no monitoring. That means like the higher management is not looking at, and they're not looking at the billing that happens if they do particular hiring in that process. What happens when the hiring manager raises the requisition? It will go to his manager, for the approval. Where we'll configure that one? We'll configure that in the approval workflows. And okay, now you have told an example, and the higher management has to approve. Now, why do we have these many approvals? We have application role, approval groups, line manager hierarchy, management hierarchy, position hierarchy, representative. All these are different kinds of approval rules. We'll see the significance and the importance of each and every rule and how each rule is different from the other rule and what business purpose it serves. We'll see all the options in the approval and workflows parallelly when we are doing with the ORC, global HR, and the other modules. And the final module that we are going to discuss, the base module, is global HR. Now, when I say global HR, we'll be seeing the enterprise structure. That means the configuration of the enterprise structure. We'll be configuring locations, divisions, legal entities. We'll see how to create action regions. And after that, we'll be seeing how we can configure the workforce structures. And after the workforce structures, we'll be seeing how we can manage the entire hire to retire cycle of the employee. When I say hire to retire cycle of the employee, starting from being an employee till the resignation, what employee can do and what HR can do and what task manager can do. We'll see all these options and we'll implement global HR from scratch and we will integrate it with ORC. By the end of this class, you'll be able to understand what you can do with global HR and ORC and onboarding. And after that, let me show you like how we are going to drive this particular course. Oracle Recruiting Cloud will take 28 to 30 hours and onboarding will take 6 to 7 hours. And this is not something that we have developed. This particular curriculum has been developed after taking n number of surveys from the candidates. How fast you can learn and how slow you can learn. By keeping the person who can understand things little late, that means who wants to digest complete information, for those kind of people we built this particular curriculum. It will not take you in rush mode, it will not take you in slow pace, but it will walk with you whatever the module. Once you give a heads up or give a nod, then only we'll move to the other modules. That is the care that we take when we drive this particular course with the amount of, if you see the hours also, based upon the module and the content that we have in that module, we have given the hours for that particular modules in the core HR. Now we have seen the course contents and the other options in the particular course. Now Rajesh will walk you through the other steps that we have in this particular demo, and he will brief you like what is the career path that you can have and what is the course structure and what you will get Everything will be briefed by Kumar.
Yeah.
Over to you, Kumar. Thank you for the opportunity. Hope you guys understood and enjoyed the demo from me.
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. It was a nice demo. Rajesh, can you please give the control of the screen?
Sure, Kumar.
Well, team, actually, these are the concepts that we planned for today's demo. So before getting into the questions, I will be explaining you the program details in a brief. So what will be the duration of the program and what will be the timing? So as such, today we plan for a demo. The regular sessions will be Monday to Friday. And the regular classes we are going to start from coming Monday, team. Like today is 19th October. From 21st onwards, that is from coming Monday, we are going to start with our regular sessions. And the timings will be every day 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. So as such, today's demo is slightly extended for more couple of minutes, but every day session will be 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. And the duration of this program will be for 2 months, team. Like more than 50 plus hours, the duration is going to be close to 60 hours. And in this program, along with the live training, you will be getting lifetime access to the video recordings. So everyday session will be recorded and it will be shared to you. Once the enrollment you confirm, team, you will be receiving our portal access in our Triotech Software Trainings.com. Your user ID and password will be created and your course will be created in that. And you will be having that access for lifetime, all the session recordings. And along with that, you will be getting access to the Fusion application for practicing with all the ORC, Core HR, all the HCM suite roles will be given to you in that. So both public and private cloud instances will be given for 5 months period. When I say private cloud and public cloud, usually everywhere you will be getting public cloud instances, team. Every 2 days, every 3 days, Oracle will refresh the data. Everything you will be losing whatever you configured, team. But we are going to provide you a dedicated private server. The entire 5 months of period you can able to practice. It means full life cycle of ORC implementation you can do in the system and you can able to execute the transactions as well. So that instance will be given for 5 months. Along with that, we'll be providing you the all material modules as well for Core HR, for onboarding, for ORC, security, workflows. For all these modules, you will be getting hands-on materials with screenshots, navigations, everything. These are about the course features offering. Coming to the other support that you are going to get from Triotech. So you'll be added into the WhatsApp community after the enrollment, team. Any sort of communication that we want to do regarding the class information, regarding the materials sharing to you, or any queries or anything that you have, you can be able to be in the part of WhatsApp community. After the enrollment today, we are going to add you in the group and trainer also will be available and I will also be in that group, team. And for every module, we will be providing you the assignments as well for practice purpose, the real-time requirements that what we received in our current projects. We are going to share with you that. And we also help you out with the resume preparation, like freshers are there, experienced are there. Keeping everyone in mind, we are going to help out with the resume preparation as well in your course learning time. And also, we'll be providing you the interview question and answers, team. For each and every component, we are going to provide you interview question and answers. That will cover freshers and also experienced scenario-based interview question and answers. And we do conduct mock interviews. Every Saturdays, usually we will be planning for the mock interviews in Triotech office in Hyderabad, team. Anyone interested, you can able to reach out to the office. If not, we'll be conducting through online, through Zoom based. So this will give you more involvement in your preparation and your way of preparing for the interviews as well. What will be the expectation from the interviewer, that all you can able to get during this mock interview sessions. And we do refer your profiles to the company's team. Like we've been already in this industry from last 9 years, close to 2015 onwards, we've been in this industry into the training area. Many companies been associated with us and every month companies will be reaching out. Some of you are from prior batches of Triotech who joined today. You might be aware of. We will be sharing the requirements in the community or you can able to follow in our WhatsApp statuses. and you can able to apply for that. So from our side also, we will be sharing the profiles to the companies for the interviews to get scheduled. So this ORC is a most happening module in the HCM. I don't say that other modules are not. Along with the other modules, if you have this ORC in your resume, the chances of getting your profile shortlisted and the chances of offering the salary wise, packages wise, if you see, very high. Exclusively, as Rajesh mentioned, core HR plus ORC, the most happening profile in the market currently. Core HR with ORC is something where companies looking very prioritizedly, because many candidates are there in the market with other modules, but there is kind of resource crunch or a gray area we have at the ORC front, the recruiting cloud. So many consultants who are in Talio now slowly moving to ORC, but still there is a huge opportunities and resource crunch available in the market. So who learning this program, with these two modules, you can able to get the job with a very good package team. So this is about the course features and the placement assistance that you are going to get from our institute. Then coming to the course fee. So Oracle Recruiting Cloud course fee is 25,000 team, but we are going on a early bird offer for today. For the day one enrolled participants only, we are giving the course at 20,000 team, and you will be getting an additional benefit also in this. Usually we providing the access for 5 months, the private server access. 2 more months additional private server access worth 6,000 rupees you will be getting team in this early bird offer, whoever get enrolled. So total 7 months application access you people will be getting, whoever enrolling in this early bird. So this is the course fee, and the offer will be valid for day one strictly. And from Monday, we are going to start our regular classes. So please do confirm the enrollments today. Our team reaching out during the session to fill the Google form. So people who already reached me, that's okay. We can able to reach out to you. But who directly joined the demo today, or anyone from our past batches 1 year back or 1.5 year back, you might be learned HCM or something or joining. I request please fill the Google form. Again, I'm sharing the Google form in the chat board team. Please fill out, then only we can able to reach out to you today for the enrollments. So this is about course features and the placement assistance that we are going to provide. So here you can see how we will be sharing the referrals team. So in your WhatsApp group, whenever the requirements comes to us, we will be sharing the profiles like this team. And you can see some of our alumni here, like students who got recently placed out, like in Deloitte, Accenture, Evosys, Capgemini, PwC. And we have requirements asking by the companies every month frequently team. So we will share our trained resources. Even yesterday also we had a call with one company in Chennai where they're looking for trained freshers on ORC and core HR with onboarding combination. So like that, every time companies will be reaching out to us, and we do help out for freelancing opportunities as well, team. So wide range of opportunities are there in the market, but you have to be upskill yourself in this domain. And you can see some of the placement success stories that which we have in our Triotech Software Trainings team. So we have seen very good recruitment happening in the market, and our students getting placed as well with the training and support that we're providing. And you can even explore our Google profile also. You can go to Google, type triotechsoftwaretrainings.com or Triotech Software Trainings, and you can find some of our past student experiences with us, what kind of support, what kind of training that we provided to them, and what role that we played in their placements, right? And you can see some of the students who replied back to us with their offers team. When they got offers with a happy note, they've been sharing their messages to us. So these all things you can able to see here as part of the placement proofs and all team. So this is about the demo that we planned for today, team. So I request everyone, please confirm your enrollments today so that we can able to share the Zoom meeting link for Monday. So for Monday, whoever the people confirming the enrollments will be getting new meeting link, Zoom meeting link. So please do confirm the enrollments today so that you will be added into the WhatsApp group. And also you will be shared with the portal access. All the videos you can able to find in that portal every day. And the new Zoom meeting link also will be shared to you for the session to attend on Monday. And I request everyone from Monday, please join on time, 7:30 to 8:30 sharp, so that we can able to close the session by 8:30 team. Okay. So now moving on to the questions. If anyone have any questions, please feel free to ask him. We are unmuting everyone. Yes. So any questions in today's demo that we discussed? You can
Hi,
unmute.
Kumar.
Yeah, hi.
This is Shilpa.
Yeah, hi
Yeah, I
Shilpa.
have enrolled prior as well to your video
Yes,
course.
Shilpa.
I just wanted to know what is the course content and what technical aspects we'll be covering as part of this training.
Here, technical aspects will not be covered. As Rajesh mentioned or walked through the curriculum, this is about the entire course curriculum here.
I think I have missed that. Sorry.
Yeah. So we are going to cover Oracle Recruiting Cloud, and these are the concepts we are going to cover as part of that. So you can walk through here. These all are the things. Okay. So all these things from the ORC point of view will be covered. And along with that, onboarding, checklist and journeys will be covered with respective to ORC. And we have workflows and approvals. So total.
Yeah, that is what like workflows, approvals,
Yeah,
and
this will be
security. Like
covered. Yes, security, workflows, and also core HR also will be covered with centric to ORC. Means how
yes,
the
yes,
interface
that's
between
what.
ORC and core HR. With that combination, we are going to cover.
Okay,
Like,
and
yeah,
how about personalization?
will be covered. Anyhow, sandbox is part of this only. We'll be covering that.
Not with the VB Studio because
No,
it
that
is
is
more of
that
Redwood
will
pages
be not
nowadays.
covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Shilpa. But as a part of training, I can brief you like how AI and VBCS is embedded into ORC.
Okay. And how about last one question? How about
Mm.
like
What is
Yeah,
the
no,
question, Shilpa?
yeah, just a second. Yeah, dumps, Oracle dumps, because I'm
For
planning for some.
ORC and core HR, we can give you, no problem.
Yeah, for certification that would be helpful for
Certification,
that.
yes.
Okay,
Certification process we will discuss in Monday session, but
okay.
as part of the support we will provide you. And Aslam, today our session got extended. Will it be like again? No, Aslam, that's what I told. I know many people are working professionals, and even we also have the offices after that. So from Monday it will be 7:30 to 8:30 sharp. It won't get extend anything. But today is a demo. We have to explain very detailedly all the things that what we have to cover. It got extended, and it's a weekend, so we planned a bit extra of today. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks,
And
Kumar.
thanks, Shilpa. And any other questions, team? So the training will be same like me. It will be like for my existing students, I can tell this point because I've been seeing Rajesh from almost like close to 9 years. I've been associated with this person, and he's very good at ORC part and other modules as well. He's currently working as a solution architect for one of the MNC where he's working for global implementation, and he's part of end-to-end ORC implementation for many projects where he and one or two other junior resources single-handedly they did. So definitely from the point of training, I can assure you, you will be getting very qualitative training team. And the way the pace that he's going through also, you can resemble same like me, how I will be training the same way he will be also teaching team. Okay. So that's all for today. If any questions, we are happy to take. If not, we can conclude for today team. So we can have the enrollment confirmations today, and from Monday, we will start with the regular classes. Okay. So no questions? Yes, Ved, hello. Chaitanya or Ved Prakash, someone asking. I think your voice is very low, Ved. Can you
Thank you
please?
so much, Kumar. Thank you so much, Rajesh. Yes, I'm going to enroll myself. So I also had a chat with WhatsApp as well. So please
Yes, yes.
see and confirm me over the chat so that I can make my payment.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi Kumar,
Hi, boss.
hope you are doing good. So I'm following you through WhatsApp from long time. So and I have seen a lot of status from whose your students that's good. So that all good. So and enrolling today. So if it is enrolled today, so what about the payment? So today we have to pay. How
We'll
they
discuss that offline, Bhaskar. You reach out to us in the. You have my number, I believe, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
reach out.
Right. Thank you.
That's all, team. People who don't
Hello.
have my number, 1 second, I will take the question. People who don't have my number, you can reach out here. I'm just sharing it in the WhatsApp, sorry, in the Zoom chat. That's my number, team. For enrollments, you can reach out to this number. Either I will be available or my admin team will be available. So 8179-563-510. Please reach out here today so that we will complete the enrollment process before Monday, team. Okay. Yeah, someone asking me question. Sorry for the Chaitanya. Yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, I'm already working in.
Chaitanya, I think you are muted. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Come on, sir.
Yep.
Yep. I'm already working in ORC, but currently in support and. But
You
yeah,
want
I'm
to
looking
your
for some.
skills into implementation side.
Yeah, I just want to like go for the implementation side.
Yeah. The
and
problem
this
with support
opportunity.
projects is only tickets we will work on, and we don't know the entire end-to-end things. Just we'll issue the result. I mean, what is the issue? We'll find out by using any knowledge base, something like that. But implementation knowledge will be lagging. Correct. I think again you muted yourself. Hello.
I'm sorry, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the reason. Yeah, I just wanted to learn because I have a very specific and very restricted learning path in this project currently I'm working. So looking for
Yes. Yes.
implementation. I
No,
just saw you mentioning like the mock interviews that will be conducted. You said that will be conducted offline. I'm not
not
associated with
necessarily
the
offline.
Hyderabad
People who
location.
are residing in Hyderabad, they can come down to the office. So in KPHB 9th phase beside Forum Mall. But people who are not from Hyderabad, they will connect through Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. And definitely it will be helpful, Chaitanya. See, when you are working in a support project and when you are dropping the resume and when you are trying for the interviews, you will be facing a lot of challenges because the interview will happen from the perspective of implementation.
Implementation.
Correct. So definitely after this training, you can able to get that things done. Already you are into this and you are enhancing your process. That's all. That would be a not a problem to you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, team. We'll conclude the session here for today. Let's join back on Monday and we'll continue with that rest of the things, team. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh, for the demo.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you all. Have a good day. Let's meet again.
Yeah. You can end the meeting, Rajesh. Yeah.